So this video is a part 2 continuing my series on how to connect Read AI and push data into Notion, Google Cloud, Outlook, and Teams. So if you haven't watched the first video, go watch the first video because this diagram in front of you here will make a little bit more sense. And then we'll just, once you get that video watched, then just come back and continue watching this one and it'll make a lot more sense. Okay, somewhere in the description you should see that video. By the way, if you get value with this, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. All right, enough promotion. So with that, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tackle this a little bit differently. So here's how I'm going to tackle this. I'm going to go to make.com. I'm not even go to this first. I'm going to go to make first. I'm going to tackle that first. I'm going to try to see if I can push the Notion. Number 2. First, okay, and then I'm going to go to flow. I'm going to set up a flow count. I don't have one, or I think I do, I don't remember. Number 3, a flow count, and then I will take the sample data from here, push it to here, and then try to set up Teams first. So number 4. And then we're going to do 5. These are hard. I'm leaving the harder ones for last because I don't know much about them. 5 and 6. Google Calendar. I think that's going to be the flow. So let's jump right into it. So let's go do the make.com first. And I might have to cut this video because I'm hearing my son in the background there making noise. So on the make.com, let's do this. I'm going to log in. I already have an account. I can hear him. So we're going to set, first we need to set up a webhook to capture the information coming in from make.com, right? So we need to set up a new scenario. So we're going to do a new scenario. And we're going to click on plus and we're going to name, we're going to look for a webhook. Okay, here we go. Why a webhook? Because we need the URL creates a response to the webhook. Triggers when creates a response. I think that's what I'm looking for. So a 200 response, and I'm just going to return true. I'm just going to return this. I actually don't have to return anything. I'm just going to return a 200. Click OK. That's it. That's all we need. We got our webhook. So why is this on schedule? I don't want to run a schedule. No. I think I got the wrong one. Sorry. Discard changes. Create a new. Click here. Webhook. And just make sure I got the right one. When mail receives data. So this is a trigger. Yeah, this one is what we want. Sorry, this is the wrong one. So here, okay, choose a webhook. My gateway webhook. I'm going to add a new webhook. I'm going to call it notes. I'm going to call it Read AI. That's the name of the webhook. I'm going to click on save. Now I got the URL. This URL here is very important. This URL is how I'm going to connect it to Notion. So in fact, let's just do that right away. So at least we got that out of the way, right? So what we're going to do is, let's just make her. So that URL is going to sit here. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go into Notion. We're going to add a URL as a webhook. And that's going to point that there. So every single time the meeting finishes, it's going to trigger that. So let's just go to the Notion to Read AI right away. And just add that so we don't forget about it. And webhook is just a URL, just to be clear. It's nothing fancy. It's just a URL. Just think of it that way. Okay, so we're going to go into Read AI. We're going to come down to here actually. We're going to go to integrations. I'm going to click on add webhook. Click on that. We're going to call it let's call it demo webhook because I'm going to delete it later on. but you can name it anything you want. Click on paste, and then that's it. Done. It's gonna set up a webhook, and that's gonna go. Yeah, because we're gonna delete the later on. Okay, so let's just do that right away. Let's just test it and make sure that it's okay. We're gonna make sure that we're getting data in it because we're gonna need to know what that data is. We need to know the structure of the data. Okay, so let's do the basics first. So basics is, how do we start a meeting? So it's pending. Still pending. Okay, I guess they're setting it up. So in the meantime, while that's happening, what was the first goal? Goal number one was to take the data and push it to Notion. Right? So, see, this part is easy. So let's go to Notion. Log in. Now I have something weird that happens with my account, so I don't know if I'll be able to I might have to set up a new account for this. Okay, that's fine. And then where do we want to put the notes? So let's just create a new page. I'm going to call it My Notes. Okay, that's it. I'm just going to call it that. I'm going to try to push it here. We'll see if that works. So go back to make. We're going to add okay, I think we have to add a router. Here, a router. What is a router? A router is like a thing to route multiple different, to split the traffic, I guess, I think. So from here, we're going to add one. Yes, so here on this side, we want to add a Notion. Right, because remember what the goal is. We're going to send some data to Notion and Google, and we're going to send it to this flow. So maybe what we should do is route it to a router that then routes it to another router, but I don't know if that we need to do that. Okay, so we can keep adding more. I just wanted to double check that. How do I get, okay. So Notion. Come on. My computer's running slow. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna send me to a video, which I probably might need to look at. But we don't look at tutorials, do we? We just try to learn on the fly. So is this still pending? Still pending, okay. That's fine. So we're going to get a page, create a page, get a page content, update the page. So let's try updating a page, or we could create a page as well too, right? Every single time we get a note, we create a new page. But let's try updating a page. Append the page. Create a connection. Choose Notion public or Notion internal. I don't know what the difference is. I'm going to choose internal. And internal integration token. Okay, so guess I gotta go with Notion to find a token. Again, never did this before, so just learning on the fly here. So I gotta go to Notion and find a token, which would be somewhere under accounts. Maybe here. Maybe maybe here. maybe settings and member here. There we go. And then my account, support, settings, connection, GitHub, see all, language settings, maybe under security maybe. General public sharing enterprise. Connections maybe. So yeah, don't know how to do this. So let's go to this tutorial. Look at this quickly. Let me pause it for 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm 3 minutes into the tutorial. Decided I should probably use the public version of the connection. So I'm going to cancel this. We're going to click on create a connection. We're going to choose public, and then we're going to call it my. Sure. Then we're going to save it. It pops up a window, which is what I was looking for. And then because it already knows that I'm logged in, it's just going to allow me. So I'm going to select pages, and then I'm going to choose that page that I choose, which is this one, right? My demo notes. Click allow access. And wait for it. Now I got a connection to Notion, and I'm going to page ID. Why do I need a page ID? How do I get the page ID? Maybe this one? I think maybe. Yeah, so maybe click OK, and then content object, add item. Right, so I can add a new item, and then I guess I'll add a, I guess what I'm adding is a paragraph, maybe. And then I put the text. So let's just put some random text for now. Here is my text, okay? And that's it. Just gonna do that. So we're just gonna save this for now, just to make sure that it's actually doing the Notion part correctly. And let's get rid of this. So we have this URL here. So here's what we could do. We could trigger this manually. It's pretty straightforward how to do that manually, but actually we don't even need to do it. Let's see if this read AI thing is active. Why is it taking so long? Don't know why it's taking so long. So in the meantime, while this is taking forever, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this manually. And we're going to test it manually, but we're going to use Postman in this particular case. So if you don't know what Postman is, it's just a tool that helps you to set to trigger HTTP requests, or call it website URL access. Okay, so remember, this is not a tutorial on Postman, but what I'll do is, for simplicity, because I got a bunch of different workflows and stuff, let's create a new workspace. So it's just blank for everybody, this thing. So blank workspace, click it next, and then we're going to call it Twin Finish Personal Create. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to click on New HTTP Request. I'm going to paste that same URL again. That URL came from this guy here. And then we're going to make it a post. We're going to just simulate a request because we just want to trigger the webhook. And we're just going to do open brackets, close brackets. We're going to do quotation. And we're going to say my notes. All right? Quotation, and then here are my notes from Read AI. Okay, just so we could simulate something to see what's happening. and save it in a collection. Okay, collection is called Read AI. Save. Okay, so that's it. Body, we're going to post, I'm going to press send right away. Now I don't know if this will run because I don't know if it's actually live as yet. Integration Webhook's Notion, yes. So is it live? Scenario was saved. So let's go to scenario. So right now it's off. So we have to trigger it on. Okay, and then now it hasn't been run anything, but now if I come back to Postman, I can click on send. So it says accepted 200. Fantastic. So now if I come back in here, click on this. There, we had one event, right? So that one event would have triggered one event in queue. Click on details. Okay, can you go away, please? So this is what was sent, right? And refresh. Scenario status inactive. Now I don't know why it went back to inactive, but that's okay. Let's go back here again. So something keeps, let me see. So the scenario requires attention. What attention? Scenario 0, fix the error, clear and queue. Reason 400 path failed. My demo notes. Okay, so this should be valid UUID. So I don't know what the Notion, so this is what I'm struggling with right now. So this is where the problem is. So let's go watch that tutorial for a second.
Essentially, you want to hear about technical data database, not just really great times. I think you look for database ID, we can use the search functionality here, and you look for database by its name. So just like the reviews, because it's a database, and okay, and you want for a database ID words. So it's only for example, this module, so we just start by saying started, okay, and then we choose where we want to start.
So, okay, so they're suggesting you can search, but I don't have a search here. So let's see. How to find a page ID in Notion. So where can I find my page IDs? Here's a quick procedure in finding your page ID for a specific page in Notion. Open the page in Notion, use the share menu, copy the link, now paste the link into your text editor. URL ends with a page ID. Got it. So share, copy link, note, paste. Yeah, this is the ID. Or maybe this is just the ID. Maybe it's just this. It can't be 4. I don't think. Okay, I'm going to try this first. I'm just going to take a guess with this. And then if that doesn't work, then I don't think it's 4. It's definitely not 4. Click OK. I don't know, where's the save button? Save. Go back here to scenarios. Turn it back on again. Refresh, make sure it's still on. Turn off for some reason. Okay, so it's not dead. Send again. It'll turn off, but that's okay. I just want to send it so I could know what's happening. Okay, so refresh, probably turn off again. So according to Notion, so copy the link, URL ends in a page ID. It should be a 32 character long string format. Format this value by inserting hyphens in the following pattern: 8, 4, 4, 4, 12. Right. This is your valid page ID. Got it. $8,444.12. So here, 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 here. Nope. This. ChatGPT. Make this a valid so valid GUID will turn this into the right format, which is 884. Yeah, but can you okay, so yes, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. So here, paste. Okay. And go back, save it, and go back to scenario, and then turn this back on again, and then go back here, send. Just gotta send two, then just refresh, see if it's failing. Probably is. Yeah. Why? So scenario is deactivated by make. Path failed to find block ID should be valid. UUID. Wait, hang on. I changed the UUID. Oh, you know what? I think it's because of the first one. So it's still. Oh wait, what? No, I'm confused. Page ID. I'm confused by what the error is. So history. So this is an error. Okay, so this, I think these are working. Refresh. No. Nothing. So what am I missing? So, okay, let me pause this for 2 seconds. All right, figured it out. Took me about a minute. So here's what happened. Because I sent old data before, the old data was stuck. So when I enabled this, there was an option that it gave me to delete the old data. So I had to do that so that, because it keep trying to replay the old data with the old state of the save. So in other words, the scenario was replaying the old version, and that was what was causing the problem. So any single time you run into an issue, the lesson here is delete any old data first before you think. So basically what I had to do is when I turned this on, it asked me if I wanted to delete the old data, and then that's what I did, and then that's how it started working. So that's correct. So long short is you need to take whatever this last URL is, go to ChatGPT, get it, tell it just make it into a GUID. It's going to give you the version with the dashes inside of it. And once you get those dashes, then that's it. You can move on to the next step. All right, so now that we have our data going into Notion as a thing, now we could clean this up a little more, but this is just a general scenario on how to get this done, right? So we're gonna mark that as being checked off because I got data going to this. We just got to put the right data into it, but I know I have data going to that. Now what I want to do is I'm going to basically take in the next video, I'm going to push data to a flow. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because, again, Flow deals better with Microsoft technology. So we'll do that in the next video. Now I probably don't have a Flow console. I'll probably have to set one up. I'm not certain, but I'll see how to do that. Thanks.